What's up, YouTube? If you're a blue-collar man or woman, you landed on the right platform, the right channel. Let's hit that like button, hit the follow button. And if you down with trying to grow your business, starting from zero, you starting with nothing, hit the subscribe button and make sure this video get 1,000 likes. Share this video with anybody who's just starting a business, who's trying to grow their business and want to see what the possibilities could be, Like myself, in 2012, I was stepping out of federal prison and I didn't really know what I was going to do, Either was turn back to the streets or try and get a job or something else, I had to really make a decision. And I remember when I was in the halfway house, a friend of mine, her name's Charlotte Davis, shout out to Cha-Cha. She said, Kevin, I don't want to see you go back in the streets. And I'm going to turn you on to this business that I'm doing, and it's called property preservation. So I'm sitting back like, damn, what is that? I'm still in the halfway house at the time, right? Like, what's property preservation? She was trying to give me the rundown on about cleaning up houses, how much you can make, the volume, so forth and so on. Okay. So I was sitting back thinking, should I take that opportunity or get back in the streets? Well, I turned to property preservation. And don't get it twisted. The streets were calling. They was calling because I knew if I jump out there in the streets, I can make some money right now. But what that right now money get you? That right now money always lead you right back into the chain gang. And I ain't want to take that risk, you feel me? Because my mom getting old, we got property out here that I was able to maintain and hold during the time I was in prison, And I got kids out here. I got to try and get back in their life if I can, because the time gap done kind of put a distance in between what's going on. And I got to be able to take care of myself. So I chose property preservation. And it was hard at first. I didn't really know about cleaning no house, really doing landscape. I didn't really know none of that. The only thing I knew was the streets. You feel me? You know how it be. The only thing you know is the streets. But anyway, I went ahead and took a chance on property preservation. Me and my partner at the time, Wanda, she got a cleaning company now called Extremely Clean. And she's doing pretty good. And I remember me and her was in the halfway house and she was thinking about doing something with cleaning. And I said, you know what? Man, why don't we get into this property preservation? Because I got a couple of houses that I need to be cleaning, so forth and so on. And maybe I can subcontract you that part of the work. And that way I can make sure that right. And that way your company can be making money and we can split what's coming in, And that's what happened, because you got to kind of build a team whenever you're doing anything. You got to build a team when you're trying to start a business. It's going to start with the people that's around you who have the same ambition as you, to help you keep that thing moving forward. Now, you're going to come in contact with a lot of people just going to be fly-by people. People may work for you for a week, work for you for a day, for a month, 3 months. Maybe their lifestyle have to change. Maybe they need more money. And when you first start the business, you can't afford to pay people a lot of money. That's one thing that kill a business in the beginning. You try and pay a lot of people in the beginning when you can't really afford to. I done made that mistake when I got into trucking. I made that same mistake, even though I had the knowledge that I didn't start it like that. I tried to jump in too fast. You feel me? I tried to jump in the trucking industry too fast. I didn't grow it slow and methodical like I did TCC Enterprise, Landscape Services, But I ain't going to draw y'all out with this whole story. I'm just going to show y'all right now it's wintertime and we kind of like slack down, but I got my whole operation right here at the port of Tampa right now. We at Port Red Wing. Now, this is the farthest port of all the port properties, and I have my whole unit out here today. I got 3 crews out here. All right, so I'm going to hop out this truck and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I have been able to build within those years after I got in property preservation, because after that, I was in that for a few years and I eventually transferred into government contracts. But by me starting small and growing this business has been around now since 2012. You know, so here we go. This is my whole operation. I got 3 crews. There's one of my trucks down there. That's mine. Another one down there. Whole operation right here. We got Marvin on one of the 0 turns. We control both sides of this highway. The whole port, anything that's green, that's port property, we have to maintain. You have Amani over there. He's been with me for, oh man, Cuba been with me now, probably 7, 8 years. I met him at Home Depot. I met Cuba at Home Depot. Look at that rat. Look at that. Look at that. Steel rat. But anyway, we call him Cuba. I met him at a Home Depot, and he's been working with me ever since. That's Romello. He works with me off and on. Off and on, he'll come to work. You know, whenever sometimes he want a job and he's serious, I give him a job. That's Romello. He's a partner from my neighborhood. He's been with me since property preservation, actually. He's been working with me off and on since property preservation. You have Antonio. He's from Cuba. You have Armani. You have Serene. This is the whole operation, man. And right now what you see, we're getting these ditches. And that's good that everybody out here, because everybody will know what part of the property is ours. But everybody done been out here before. But this is one of the contracts that we maintain now with the Port of Tampa. And I'm just showing you guys, starting from property preservation, something small, it can grow to something large in a course of years if you work at it consistently for a long time. You know? You got my buddy Gus. Me and him been partners since kids from the neighborhood. He's one of my main foremen. He controlled this whole port project. He's second in command when it come down to the crew. Today, he the one has the whole crew out here today, getting the whole thing right. We got Horace right there. We got Gus right there. That's one of the small tractors. That's the first tractor that I bought. When I got in the government contract and I realized I needed a tractor. That was the first one that I bought, and it's still working today. I don't have my other 2 tractors in down. Well, matter of fact, the other tractors are over there on the other side. The other 2 big tractors. So I went from a push lawnmower. I started with a push lawnmower. Bro. I ain't on everything I love. A couple of push lawnmowers. The first lawnmower, commercial lawnmower I bought a Snapper Pro, a 36-inch Snapper Pro. It's called Gate Crasher. I paid almost $5,000 for that machine. But that machine was able to get through yards and cut a lot of stuff. And it was a small machine, but I thought I had myself something, I ain't gonna lie. When I bought that Snapper Pro, I thought I had something, but it did the job for many, many, many years. That Snapper Pro cut a lot of yards, for real. But I done went from Snapper Pros to tractors, to 72-inch, 60-inch, 4 or 5 crews at one time, you know? And that's another crew right here. You got Santos crew. He does a lot of my abatements for the city. What's up? What's up? We got Antonio. Who are there? Cortez? What's up? What's up? What's up? Where your shirt? No camisa? Like, ¿dónde la camisa? No. What up, Santos? Nah, I might as well finish.
That way ain't nobody gotta come back to
Yeah.
us.
Finish. And the fence line. Hit that fence line. Make sure you,
On the railroad track like that.
every time you come out here, that fence line.
Look at all that came from that railroad track.
The railroad tracks, the fence line. Then we have somebody else focused on cutting, but you focused on that fence line.
All right, let's go down there with them.
All right. All right. And once we get it all cut up, complete, like you say, we don't have to come back because it's winter time. Now over here you have one of the biggest flour companies in the world. They are called, you can look them up. They produce flour over here. This is the $1 billion operation. They the second largest, or if not the largest, producer of flour. The flour that you use on a regular basis is probably coming from right here. All right. So I'm just showing you guys it's possible to start off with a small dream, a small business, and grow it. I did it through property preservation, and then I got into government contracting. And that's where the majority of our income comes from for this business, government contracting. Now we're trying to get into, not trying, we're working on getting into more HOAs, private contracts, things of that nature to help grow the business even further. But like I say, man, you just work hard, stay focused, and y'all know my motto, make it happen or you cap it.